Thumbs up. Hey guys, it's me. I'm gonna do a two-part video. The first part is gonna be ska strumming and certain chords that'll work for that. Got a couple requests for that, and the other one's gonna be me teaching you parts of the song "Take on Me" that's covered by Real Big Fish. Um, it was actually written by Aha or performed by Aha, but Real Big Fish covered it. So leave it to a ska band to cover an 80s song, huh? Alright, so the chords that work really well for ska strumming, in my opinion, I mean, again, you can do whatever you want, are barred chords. And since you're doing a lot of up strumming on the upbeat, I believe, you're going to be emphasizing the higher or the top strings. Okay, so primarily strings 1 through 4. So let's say, for example, actually, let me go take you through a couple chords first. So the big ones I like to use personally, any bar chord that's built off the 5th string. So let's take a minor bar chord. That's easier to do than the major bar chord. Make an A minor chord with your last 3 fingers, your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and wherever you end up putting it, you're going to be barring the fret before the chord. So you can see there's a bar and then your chord, bar, chord, bar, chord. So let's go ahead and start down on the 7th fret. Put your first finger on and bar it on the 7th fret. Make your A minor shape right there. Right there you have an E minor chord, okay? So by doing this, you're going to be emphasizing all that. So you don't even have to play this root note right here. All the other notes that make up the chord are already in that jumble down there. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be through your basic 4/4 time. You're going to be going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and hitting those ands. So it'll be when you mute going down, you're going to hit going up. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the basic beat. That's the basic principle. So how to make it work with your right hand versus your left? There's a couple ways you can do it. Some people like to fret everything down so it'll resonate pretty well, but they'll do a palm mute with their right hand. How this works is they'll do that kind of thing. So they'll mute all the way down, hit the and on their way up. Some people will not push down, not fret everything on their left hand, so it's muted, and by them doing that, they'll strum down, and then simultaneously they'll push down the strings and strum up at the same time. Personal preference, really. And sometimes it's good to know both ways because you can get different feels by learning that technique as opposed to. So, ska's not really my forte, but I know how to do both of those techniques. It's just good to have them in your toolbox. So that's your major chord shape. You got the strumming down already. That's your minor chord shape. Your major chord is you're going to take your A minor shape and you're going to turn it to an A major shape. Sounds kind of tricky, huh? So what you're going to do is you're going to move these 2 fingers down a string and move your 2nd finger above all that. Keep that bar there. So it looks like your fingers are kind of a dead spider. So that's what it's going to sound like. So that's pretty much how it's going to go down. So you could also, instead of barring, just fret that high E string on the 7th fret there. Just focus on that, okay? So whatever's best. I think it's kind of safer to bar because if you accidentally hit this A string, say if you're here, hit that A string, hear how lovely that sounds? You don't want that to happen. It's kind of safe to bar that. So if you hit that A string, it's an actual note that's going to work. So that's primarily it. Those are the bar chords built off the 5th string. Built off the 6th string is the same principle when you start with the A minor chord and you move it around up and down the neck. What you're going to be doing now is using your E major shape, and you're going to, same exact principle, move it up and down the neck. Pick a fret, bar it, okay? Your shape stays the same. You stick a bar on that thing. You got scratch a chord, K. Same principle. There's your major shape. Your minor shape is just an E minor, so you just take away that second, or yeah, your second finger. So that's pretty much it. A couple of tips if you're going to be playing ska or using this technique. Some people use it for reggae, so if you're using any acoustic instruments for reggae, if you're playing by yourself, a solo gig, be sure to learn the chords in their entirety from bottom to top. Because if you're playing any sort of chords that are lacking any sort of bass notes, you're probably not going to get a fuller sound. So you'll probably have this chord as opposed to this chord. So you want to make sure if you're playing solo, and this is with anything, you get the fullest sounding chord you can get, unless for whatever reason you're writing chords or writing your songs a certain way, then it's all up to you. If you're with a band, if you have a bass player, if you have a piano player, then either or will be fine. There's this and there's that. This, that. Either one will be fine. If it's easier to play up on the higher strings, do that. If you prefer playing a full chord, do that. Since you only take 3 notes to make a chord, you don't need to do a whole lot of work. There's other chords that'll work too, but we're gonna get into those later. Open chords will work. Some people like using those for whatever reason. I personally don't prefer them, just because there's a lot of open strings involved. Avoid them. Scales are all the same. Major, natural, minor. Basic principles. It's all the same, really. It's just what you do with it. So that's that. So the next video is going to be Take On Me, and I'm just going to go over a couple parts with that. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and give me an email. Thank you very much. Good luck.